Thank you to GameWare Create for being a channel partner. Looking for a Kickstarter game you missed or 3D printed minis? GameWare Create has a huge selection available, all at a fair price. Use the link in the description below to check out all that GameWare Create has to offer. What's up, Rockstars? Today I have a great video for you. There's a ton to go over. We got all of July to look at. We got stuff that's available right now. In fact, the first one I'm going to be covering has like an hour left. So let's just jump right in. Now, as always, before we jump into things completely, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. This is a community-run channel, and I do these videos for you guys, and you guys help support so that I can buy equipment, buy these games, show them off to you, give you my raw and honest opinion. That's because I do not take any money from any game developer, so that you know it's my honest opinion and not my wallet's opinion. Additionally, I do audio updates every week. We got a very active Discord. There's a ton of perks. There's actually some giveaway stuff going on right now. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Either way, check out the link in the description below to my Patreon if you so choose and you're willing and able to help. If not, though, that's fine. Just a like on the video or a comment saying this video is helpful. Helps out a ton. I greatly appreciate it. All right, now, without wasting any more time, 6 Siege the board game. At the time of recording, it's 14 hours, but I gotta film this. I gotta edit this. I gotta sleep at some point. So it's going to be real close, but I know I can get this out to you guys in time. But seriously, if you've been hemming and hawing about 6 Siege, now is the time. There is links down below to everything. Feel free to pause this video if you want after I'm done talking about this, or right now, or whenever, and go see if it's still up, and if so, if you want to back it. This is a great game, by the way. I had a ton of fun with this game. I really did. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's a lot going on right now. Now, I'm going at the recruit pledge, but I do plan on upping. If nothing else, I'm going to be getting the maps. So that's just kind of a given. And then I'll decide, if I want all of them or if I'll get more operators. I don't know. We'll see. Because they give you like 20 right off the bat, which is great. So if you didn't know, they do have some Kickstarter exclusive stuff too. This will be going to retail, but I really like this, by the way, the why back now. That's so great to have right up front. Like, hey, okay, why should I do this? Well, because it looks like it'll be about a 1.5 year cycle before they actually deliver most of the stuff. Plus it'll be cheaper. Plus you get exclusives. So there's that too. The bigger and better are kind of the same thing, but I'll forgive it. That's fine. So they have some alternate sculpts and stuff like that. A nice breakdown here. Mythic Games does know how to run a campaign, that is for sure. So they're doing great here. They have Kickstarter exclusive tags everywhere it kind of needs to be. And again, it's very nice to see what all you're getting. I think that's super helpful. Oh, and probably the 3D decor set. I'll probably get that too. I like pimping out my games. If I enjoy a game, I may as well play the best version of it, right? So there's that as well. No, great stuff though. I think everybody had good stuff to say. I mean, obviously they're not going to put any bad stuff here, but, from what I understand, people who played it loved it. I know I did. So I know my kids did. I know my wife did. We all thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's some cool guys too. One of the people they just unlocked, if you want an example of the kind of operators that they have going on here, is, it's like this guy that has a drone like normal, right? But afterwards it explodes. So you could send it into a room, detect that, oh, hey, that's an actual operative, and then actually blow it up and hurt him, and maybe, take out a barricade or, a camera or something like that. Super cool. I love it. I think that's awesome. That's a sweet power. And so they definitely have some cool and unique stuff like that going on in there, which I think is super cool. Plus, they've been so great on visibility. So they have all this terrain and stuff, but a lot of the unlocks have been, taking like fire and stuff like that and making it transparent. Smart move. I like it. It's just like red transparent. It's in the shape of fire. Looks cool. So anyway, yeah, again, link down below if you're interested in that. I think, super fun game. Let's keep going. We got a lot to cover. Wild Ascent Lavon Rising. I have unboxed that. I'll go ahead and link that down below too so you can see the unboxing. I don't know if I'll have a review in time. I do in-depth reviews, and I always list cons, not just pros. No game's perfect. There's always room for improvement, or, at least it's useless to be a reviewer if you're not critical. my opinion. So, I definitely have no problem being critical. But that requires a lot of playthroughs. I really need to know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. So I've played a few games of Wild Ascent, but not enough to review it, not enough to do it in the style review I have. I might put something out, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is a versus video, where I'll talk about why you would like this game versus why you would like this game. And I'll probably do Chronicles of Drunagor, their new stuff, because that's coming up. And I've heard people kind of asking between the two, so I might do that. Let me know, again, in the comments below. I will read them. I'm curious if you would rather have maybe some kind of early review thing, like a first impression style thing. I'll have to navigate through that a little bit. Or if you'd like a versus video. I can only do one in the time here, because this thing was only on for like 9 days. So it's not like they gave it to me early enough. It's not necessarily like their fault, but it's a very short window to actually back it while it's live. And I'd like to get something out while it's live. So 6 days left at time of recording here. And again, you can take a look. The minis are amazing, by the way. Alex is busy breaking his own rules and going 5 plus out of 5. It's kind of going 110%. I didn't know he could go over 100, but he's given eBay ratings. That's what it is. He's gone to eBay ratings. Next game is going to be 5 plus. We're just going to keep going from there. I like it. Hey, I'm glad he loves it. Very cool unlocks, by the way. I don't know if you choose small ones versus big ones. Big ones are all minis, of course, and stuff like that. Interesting note before I move off of this, game trays. I recently unboxed, you guys haven't seen it yet, Steam Launchers, and they had, stuff like game trays, but it wasn't made by game trays, and I liked it better. I'm not sold on game trays lately, and I think Super Fantasy Brawl ruined a lot for me in that regard. I don't know, sometimes it seems like they take up more space than is needed. I don't know. Just depends, I guess. Anyway, lots of stuff here. Lots of really cool minis. That is for sure. They look fantastic. So there is that. And the story looks like way, way better. Though, again, low bar to beat in my opinion. Okay, moving on. We got Valor and Villainy, Lludwick's Labyrinth. This one I have not looked at. I need to. I own the base game. I have not played that. Yes, I'm a bad person. There is a week left. There is a small sliver of hope that you shouldn't count on that I will play that in time. If it hasn't happened now, it won't happen for a bit. Need some spare time at some point. One of the problems with reviewing for a channel versus just playing is you tend to keep moving on to the next thing, right? And so sometimes it's like, oh man, I'd love to play that again, but I gotta get this review and I gotta do this and I gotta read this rule book. And so it is a little bit of a different experience where you're constantly moving on to the next thing and you can't quite sit with the game as long as you'd like. I luckily get to do it longer because for anything I review, because I tend to review pretty in depth, but it just hasn't happened yet. That being said, it looks good. Like, from what I can tell, people are enjoying it. It's not the biggest campaign ever, but it definitely seems like a cool thing. Lots of tokens. Oh my gosh. Or is that cards? Those are cards. Okay. Yeah. Nobody fans cards out like that. Looks cool though. I like the design like a lot. Like the whole frog snail thing. I dig that. I don't really care. I like his cloak, but I don't like how hunched face he is. But this one's cool too. I mean, like, they got some really cool designs for sure. I really enjoy that. I like the daily unlocks. Like, that's great too. There's a lot of value there for everybody. It kind of reminds me of like Abe's Odyssey, some kind of odd world thing. But yeah, I don't know. Looks cool. I dig it. Haven't backed it yet though, so there is that. I haven't played the first one yet, so there's that. Deliverance. This one it kind of had a lot of fuss going up, and then it splashed with a bang, and then just kind of has sit there, which is kind of interesting. Everybody that's there seems happy. I checked out the comments a little bit. They're just kind of doing their own thing, which is cool. They haven't really added any more, like, they haven't really pushed into the demon side of thing. They had the 8, and then here's some demon talent cards and stuff like that. But I think that was the last thing I had saw comment-wise. People were asking for maybe more demons too, because they're adding a whole bunch of angels. So angels are cool. So it looks like it's pretty much set with where it is. It'll be interesting to see what the last 48 hours is, of course. By the way, I think this should happen more often. I would love more people to do shirts. Just saying, I'm a huge, I say that in the one video where I'm not wearing a nerd shirt. My apologies. This is just from work. I'm doing what I can here, guys. But I do dig cool shirts. So yeah, cool shirts is a good thing for me. I'm all for that. So I actually like a lot of that because it doesn't require game development time to do. It doesn't really add to, you know, it's normally done by a whole separate factory. So even if one factory's, you know, I think it's a lot smarter to do a lot of stretch goals, even maybe kind of like that, where you can do some things around the game that are cool, that isn't something like you're not signing up for a month of playtesting by adding it kind of thing. Or you're adding it unbalanced, which is a bummer too. So I kind of dig that as well. Almost 2,000 backers. About 6 days left. Okay, Scarface 1920. People are loving this one as well. I love this one. I would back this if my group would play it. Very important when you're backing games to think, will my group actually play this? If you're anything like me, you're the one buying the Kickstarters. And if you're buying the Kickstarters, typically you're the one that likes more games. But I know several people in my gaming group that would have, you know, very little interest in playing this. Not the theme, just the style of game, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think that's, it looks really good. I like pretty much most of what I see about it. It's, I would love to play it with somebody, but I will not be buying it because of that. So, kind of a bummer, but at the end of the day, I guess it saves you a little bit of money too. But always think that what will actually get to the table, not just what do you wish would get to the table, what will actually get to the table. In other words, you get this cool and you're like, oh, this is awesome, we should play this. And then everybody's like, yeah, we should sometime, not today, right? And what you need is the game that you're like, oh, we should play this. We're like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's play that right now. That's what you want. So if your gaming group or groups or whoever you're game with, if they're for it, then definitely go for it. If they're not, then you got to ask why you're buying it. If you're collecting it, that's fine too. I don't judge, but buy whatever you want to buy. Just saying. Don't set your expectations accordingly. All right, let's look at some STLs here. Horsemen of the Apocalypse Army looks super cool. Lots of skeleton dudes and pretty good price, $22. $22 you get them all. So there you go. They have a commercial license as well. But I like a lot of these guys remind me. I like the little guy on there too. A lot of these guys remind me of like Torchlight kind of stuff too. If you ever played the video game, just kind of a little cartoony, a little goofy, a little fun. I dig skeletons are like that. I really do. Okay, next we have Dungeons of Drakkenheim. This is looking great, by the way. 28 days to go still. Already at over 5,000 backers. Already at over $500,000 raised, which is quite good. And again, the to get you in is 25. But they have some pretty cool minis, just a few. But I love the style and all that. So when I got back into Magic the Gathering, it was the return to its Instagram. Oh, gosh, I can't even think. The name always leaves me. Instagrad. Anyway, the Gothic one with like transforming werewolves and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that. I really dig the purple and all that. Plus, it's got a plushie. And again, I'm all add some plushies, add some shirts, add some buttons and knickknacks and salt and pepper shakers. I don't care. I think it's cool. I like it. I dig it. Whether it's a stretch goal, whether it's an add-on, stuff like that, I think is great. You don't have to develop it. You can still focus on the game and still have people that want to get it happy and add some cool stuff and be able to raise that, you know, total funded price and whatnot. That, I imagine the, because you don't have to develop it, the profit, it's kind of easy money, right? Like the profit margin isn't too bad when it takes very little effort. You know, you got to design the plushie and that's it, really. So I'm all for that kind of stuff, but it looks cool. I like it. I think it looks neat. I have nothing to, again, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, but you know, there you go. All right. Dark Gods Eternal. The Dark Gods is actually a Patreon. They do have some Kickstarters as well. This one's doing 22,000. It's been there for a while. I'm surprised it's not higher, but it's kind of low in scope. It's very much Warhammer 40K. They're doing 40K stuff. It's, you know, if you got a Nurgle army or anything like that, you know, here you go. Here's your guys. Here's your HQs. Very obvious, I think, what they're doing. Then there's this guy who looks, I think, super cool. By the way, I don't know if you can see my dog right now. He's very happy. Sawyer is, because I took this off him. It took this off it. Yeah. So he's had better times, but no, he's doing good. He's doing good. Right? You're a good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. All right. Anyway, yeah. Again, obviously the orcs with the big jaws, same kind of thing, right? Everybody knows what's going on here. I think they look pretty cool. I like them. I like this stuff. This guy's freaking sweet. If I was an orc player, I'd be fielding that. Yes. Yes, please. So anyway, I think they look cool. At least for me. If you're interested, by the way, in STLs and Patreons, stuff like that, I will be doing a huge 100 plus patrons for 3D printing. It's everything I can find. It's a ton. We got busts, we got terrain, it's going to be big. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up later this month. Next up, Carlos Miniatures. These are fine resin, hand cast, pro painter, or, whoever wants to put paint on them kind of stuff here. If you have not, this is what I always say. These are expensive. It's about, I don't know why the entry is $6, whatever, but $42 for one. If you are a miniature painter and you haven't painted a very fancy, nice, big resin miniature, 75mm scale and up kind of thing, you owe yourself to do it at least once. It is a whole different experience. It's super cool. You treat yourself, birthday, whatever. So if any of these kind of stand out to you, I highly suggest getting one. Now, I know not everybody needs to buy a whole set of them. Not everybody would paint a whole set of them. They look weird, right? But this kind of stuff is actually very fun to paint because you could, they very much brought the two together, but you could also make it to where this is super yellow and then he's like kind of this cool blue. There's so many different things you can do. And then of course you got the textures it's really fun to paint. You actually start thinking about all of the, different kinds of textures and lighting and stuff that you can do. And, typically a lot of, you can go to town. I'm not this talented, but some people are. Anyway, super cool. All right. Next up, I think this is the last one for like printing and stuff like this. Crazy Mushrooms version 2, as opposed to version 1. It looks like they got some big stuff here as well. It's definitely, I think, a little bit pricier. It's at, $48. To get it all, but I love how they look. I think it looks kind of, by the way, I think this image right here looks kind of crappy, in my opinion. I think the contrast level is too low, and so it looks kind of washed out. But if you look down here, they look fantastic. I think they look great. Like, I like pretty much all of them. I think they all look really, really good here. Very cool. Like, this guy is freaking sweet. I love it. I think that's cool. So yeah, if you're interested in these, again, 3D printing is super cool, I think. Also, these mushrooms are freaking stellar. I love that. Same as like this moon face thing. It's just super unique stuff. So really digging that. Love it when I see unique sculpt designs like that. All right, what's coming up? On GameFound, we have Platformer coming out in about 4 days. What is Platformer? It's not a game I play, but I really dig the art style. And it does have minis, so there you go. I'll cover that too. But yeah, it's just not my thing. Like this whole thing isn't it's not me. It's not me. It doesn't speak to me. My kids would think it's adorable and want to play it, but what the heck do they know? No, this again, I would like, honestly, if they made nice versions, I would almost paint some of these. Like this is like an Assassin's Creed chibi guy, and this is like a black mage chibi girl or whatever. I don't know. I really dig it. I like the style quite a bit. So it's definitely got some charm, that's for sure. I'll be looking at it probably a little bit later as well. It's by Awaken Realms Light, by the way, so it is kind of their thing, which is, I love the different stuff like that. It doesn't scream Awaken Realms like Aetherfields and Tainted Grail and Isis Vanguard and all that kind of stuff, and I dig it. I think that's awesome that they're doing their own separate thing. Oh my gosh, what is this? What could this be? If you guys know me, you guys know I loved Limbo. Limbo Eternal War was fantastic. I actually really, really enjoyed it. It has one of the, if not the best army building experiences I've had. Additionally, it also has a great shared resource system for your levels and power-ups and stuff like that. A lot of fun there. Had some, kind of, very indie mistakes and some issues and stuff like that. I've been talking with them. They've been, listening to everybody, and they have a 1.5 coming out. This is one of the minis. And when you pretty much get what you see. So if you see this is pretty much what you get. The minis are top tier. I don't say that lightly. They are top tier. There is sculpt design and there's detail level. The detail level really just needs to be good enough to capture the sculpt, right? In other words, your armor needs to have sharp points, it needs to be made out of metal, and your hair needs to be nice and flowing, and your fingers need to not be like this or whatever, you need to be able to capture the details that you put in there. But by and large, the main thing is sculpt. Sculpt design, top. The top two I'd put Dawn of Madness, Limbo, War. Right there. There you go. There's your top tier. When it just comes to like fantastic, like, I've done several videos. You could see the unboxing or the review or something like that. They're all great. Detail level, by the way, also very good. Fantastic minis. I painted several of them. Maybe I'll link one of those down below, Gluttony or something like that. It's a lot of fun. Great minis, and honestly a great game, but rough around the edges, right? A little bit indie. So hopefully it's 1.5. Hopefully this will do better. Now this will be coming out on July 8th. So it's not a Tuesday. I think it's a Thursday. So just as an FYI, this will be out on July 8th. 100% I'm getting this. Like there's no doubt about it. I really enjoyed Limbo Eternal War, and I'm looking forward to the 1.5. Now you might be thinking, if you've seen it, like, hey, that board looks different. Well, yes, it does. So let's go and take a look inside. Oh, also the artwork is now like really good artwork. Like it looks great, actually. I think they ended up doing a good job. They did the lords and how they work is a little bit different. You can see the card is different as well. So it was that. Okay, anyway, spend enough time on that. That's coming out again on the 8th. Next up, we have Rat Queens to the Slaughter. Very weird name. Know nothing about it. They've been advertising a lot to me on Facebook, though. They do have some minis. Definitely a unique art style. I really like this person here. She just seems like she's got some attitude. But again, I think this hair is also really cool. It'd be cool to paint that hair. July 13th on this. Safe outside from destruction in this cooperative board game. Okay, deal. Yeah, let's take a look at it. I guess on July 13th. Next up, Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness Apocalypse. I have unboxed this. You can check it out in the description below. It's like right there. So I'll be playing that as well. This is out enough, 18 days. I'll get a review out to you guys, so you'll be able to see this. I might do a review of Chronicles of Drunagor first. I needed to get at least one more game session before I was happy with my review of it. That's why you haven't quite seen that yet, but definitely will at least have one for this one as well. Mini design again is like crazy. Like it's really cool. So I dig that as well. 3D terrain, all that kind of stuff is neat. The mini design, again, I think is fantastic. I really enjoy a lot of these. They're adding a texture onto the miniature, by the way. Awakened Realms does this too. It adds a lot of clarity and looks really good as a render, but just realize these are renders, keep that in mind as well. Let's see, anything else worth noting here besides the fact that they got a ton of stuff here? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm giving it away. So, there will be an all-in that I'm giving away to a lucky patron. I'll be picking a person to win that, on the day of this launch. So I believe that's July 20th. So on July 20th, you will know exactly if you got that or not, but feel free again to, check out what I offer on Patreon and see if you would like to become a patron. Not for the giveaway, not just for the giveaway. I mean, I can't stop you from doing that, but maybe that's a nice incentive to kind of take the plunge. In which case, I'm happy to give back. I always am. I think it's great. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to give one of those away. Somebody's going to get a lot of really good game. I can tell you that much. Next up, Divinus by Lucky Duck Games. This is coming out in 25 days, so towards the end of July. And again, you can follow ahead of time to get that €5 credit, which would be worth however much €5 is. 25. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter. It'll be 5. It's a hybrid game, so I won't be playing it probably, which is a bummer because I think of their games, this one has the best IP that I have seen. I think it looks awesome. I think it looks super cool. I'll also take a look at it. But definitely cautious anytime something requires an app. If it doesn't absolutely require it, if there's a way to play it without it, then I'm game. But otherwise, I don't know. Not really all about that. There's enough other games I want to play that don't require that, to where I've never felt the need to I have nothing else to spend on. Next up, Legend Academy. This actually takes place barely in August. We're going to go a little bit in August on this. But this one looks cool. So Quacklobe's shown it off a few times now, so that's, I think, super cool. The minis look okay. It is funny, by the way, to see them kind of so plain like no texture. They look like they're kind of made a little bit out of clay. They're a little, static posed. And then like the super detailed rock with like all these like, little pieces in and stuff like that. Also, if you notice the base is the exact same. So see this line here and then this line here. And you see this line here, this line here. So the exact same rim on this base. See how it's flat here, and then they just changed the top of it. I thought that was kind of interesting as well, that they're reusing the same base. I don't know if maybe they just thought it was good enough or that nobody cares. There's a little tiny rocks there, little tiny rocks there. I mean, it's the same base, just with slight differences. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. That being said, sculpted grass looks cool. Okay, so what is this? Well, we don't know too much about it. It sounds like it's doing everything. Like every, Kickstarter's like, oh, this does everything. Legends Academy is a competitive Euro-style game that combines deck building, card creation, worker placement, and dungeon crawling. That's right, it does everything. It even does your taxes for 2022. So hopefully, if you need some help there, if you don't like TurboTax, Legend Academy has your back. I have no idea. It sounds like it's doing a lot. That being said, it looks kind of cool. So one of the cool things I like about this is definitely this is like an example player board, and you can see kind of how you do bows, arrows, trick shot, steal, then for the poor, King's Revenge grapple, or sidestep, and it goes to leap. So you have all these different like progressions, which I really like. I think that's cool. The art style is okay. This, though, I love every time I see this in a game. First saw it in Hate for me personally and really enjoyed it there, where you can essentially, every card comes sleeved. First of all your cards are sleeved, and then you slide in these upgrades. Like this has a take 2 that you slide in. You can put on Sidestep or maybe Whip Strike or something like that. So really like that idea as well. So definitely looking out for it. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know. You can follow now to get 3 exclusive equipment cards. No, I don't know what those are, but hey, they're free. So there's that. Next up, August 24th, we have The Black Rose Wars by Lucas Matter Studio. This is going to be their kind of reprint / remake. My understanding is it's going to be kind of like a 1.5. It'd be kind of interesting to see. I really liked the card play of it. It reminded me a lot of Magic the Gathering, but there was also a lot of fluff I felt that made it, just bogged it down and made it a little bit way more heftier than it needed to be. I think that needed to be a lean game. Now, that's what I'm hoping 1.5 is. I really liked DEI. I backed Nova Aetus Renaissance because it looked like they took what worked and kept that and from different games, and I liked that. So we'll see how that plays, I guess, as well. But if they did good on DEI and if they did good on that, then I'm willing to forgive them for, their past bloat in their games or cumbersomeness in their games, if they're able to keep that streamline going. So kind of interested. I guess we'll see. We'll see. I got the Wave 2 of Black Rose Wars. I opened it up, but I didn't play it. So there's that. Next up, Tanares RPG for 5e. This also has stuff for Tanares / Arena, so board gamers can still be interested in this as well. Not just, D&D players, but for D&D players, this is like the cat's pajamas and the bee's knees and all those other weird sayings. So, this gold dragon, by the way, freaking sweet. So you can get him in the first 24 hours. That's an amazing deal. That should get you interested, if nothing else. There is some free playable sample stuff right here. You get the map world and some other stuff like that, which I think is super cool. That's awesome. And it's just kind of talking about it. But honestly, there's a lot here. Even if you're just a board gamer, there's new classes to play, which is awesome. The classes really help any kind of skirmish game, of course. So that also means new minis as well. And I'm assuming they might even have some crossover story-wise. I would suspect, but we'll see. Either way, kind of interesting. You can go in and get started by going to this and clicking this button here. So there's that. Almost done. Next up, Dawn of Madness. This is an update. I just wanted to show you, again, they have some freaking sweet minis. This is an amazing mini. This is kind of the King in Yellow, if you kind of know that, from the Cthulhu mythos. Super cool. Really love it. He looks to be, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the band Ghost, but it kind of reminds me of how they dressed for a while there. Anyway, looking awesome. And of course, you get the sweet bass. And then, of course, you can plop him on there. There you go. There you go, dude. I mean, they got some gnarly stuff, because then there's like this lady. She's not doing too well on it, though. She's had better days. And then, of course, this guy, or the lady who, again, better days. So yeah, there's a lot of like gnarliness there, for sure. Definitely not for everybody, but I dig it. I think it's freaking sweet. Definitely don't have minis like that. All right, we're gonna wrap things up with the Warhammer Plus stuff. It is unmissable according to Warhammer. Okay, so I've talked to you a little bit about this. Essentially, it's a subscription thing. It's going to be $5.99 USD a month or $60 for the year. You get a wealth of Warhammer animation. You get those animation stuff we covered last time. Week in-house Warhammer hobby shows for every week. A digital vault of classic Warhammer publications and White Dwarf issues. So you do get books and reading there, which I think is very smart. In fact, that might be, I think, the better part of it. Full access to the Warhammer apps. Woohoo. Premium access to our official events, nah. Exclusive subscriber offers, nah. A free exclusive Citadel miniature worth at least £25 every year. What's that? We'll see. And access to a second exclusive subscriber miniature. Okay, so here are the two ones that you can pick from at first. There's this sniper dude on the terrain, and then there's this orc guy. I think there's orc guy by the... Oh, shut up. He's cool. He's cool, I think. But not exactly the most stand out. This guy, I think, stands out a bit more. However, gosh, that's loud. However, I'm always cautious anytime there's a lot of terrain. First of all, I think it's weird that it's not very high. And then, of course, you know, what if you're fighting in a jungle? What if, I mean, it can work, right? And this is generic enough to where I think it works. But anyway, it's always kind of interesting when you see stuff like that. It's like, how much will that stand out? But anyway, a lot of painting stuff and a weekly look into the lore, which is cool. I dig that as a new person. I'm into that. Some battle reports, which is kind of neat, though there's a bajillion of those on YouTube already. So, hit or miss. And then, then there's all these kind of books you can also read in White Dwarf and stuff like that, which is cool. So, dig that as well. Anyway, yeah, it is $6 a month. I feel $4.99 would have been so cool. I don't know. It's a whole nother dollar. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I had. That's a big update. There was a lot to cover. July is going to be big. If you have anything else that you'd like me to know about, like me to take a look at or to share with others, again, feel free to comment those down below as well. Let me know what you want me to do about that review situation when it comes to just a few more days on that Lavon Rising. I'll do what I can. That's all I can promise. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Seriously, I appreciate it. Always enjoy talking and chatting with you guys. And I'll talk to you guys again next week with some more stuff. I got some more unboxings still to show you. Obviously, still Steam Watchers here, but there's some other stuff I haven't even posted yet. And of course, more gaming news, more topic videos, lots of stuff coming up. So I guess stay tuned for those. Till then, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.